Well, we all saw it coming, and if you watched my live stream yesterday, you guys know that I said it, that Ryan Reeves, it was inevitable he was going to get moved, and it has happened. The New York Rangers have traded Ryan Reeves to the Minnesota Wild for a fifth round pick. I got the jersey on too. And listen, I understand. I understand that people are confused about this because they really shouldn't be, because the report initially was that Ryan Reeves discussed his role with Gallant and management because he wasn't very happy with how limited of ice time he was getting. And can you blame the guy? You don't want to be a healthy scratch in the NHL. It's not a fun role to be in. So Ryan Reeves, he started with that, and I guess because of the fact that it was more and more inevitable he wasn't going to get ice time, he decided to request out, and it was apparently before the game against the LA Kings last night that he requested a trade out of the organization. And that, again, I'm not surprised. I saw this coming, and I had a feeling that it was going to be sometime this week that he was going to get traded. So the fact that it happened today, it doesn't shock me. What shocks me is a little bit how quick it was. I thought that this was going to drag out maybe a little bit longer towards the end of the week, maybe a bit longer. That's the only thing that shocks me about this. But for the most part, I mean, I'm also just confused and just aggravated at the same time, because you guys know my stance with this. All offseason long, I was beating the drum. The Rangers should get rid of Ryan Reeves, should get rid of Sammy Blais, and keep guys like Tyler Mott around, or Frank Vetrano, where realistically they probably could have. If you did the cap gymnastics here, if you took Sammy Blais and Ryan Reeves off the books, Frank Vetrano maybe could have fit in the cap if you were able to get him at a tad bit of a discount, at $3.3 million. If you were able to get him right at that amount, get him on a discount to return back to the Rangers, you could have had him, or you could have just straight up had Tyler Mott and Kevin Rooney on your team still, who brought way more value than those two, because Sammy Blais, realistically, he hasn't been great, and I expect him, honestly, to get moved by the deadline as maybe a cap casualty, and the Rangers look to upgrade in that bottom six. I think there's a chance he ends up getting moved. And then when it comes to Ryan Reeves, now you got that cap off the books, and now the deadline cap looks absolutely unreal. You're now sitting at a pretty $6.6 million come the deadline, and obviously we know what name has been connected after this trade. We know Patrick Kane is the name everyone's talking about right now on Twitter, that he should be a possibility and that he should be the target for the Rangers. And you guys know my stance on it. I'm not all for trading for Patrick Kane unless you could get him at the right price. If you could get him out of Vitaly Kravtsov, Robertson, couple draft picks, something like that, then we're talking. Then, okay, sign me up for Patrick Kane on my squad. But for what the rumored price is, when you get Kakko's name in the mix, Laffy's name in the mix, no, we're not going there, and that shouldn't be in the cards at all. I think that the Rangers, though, realistically can maybe be a player for Vlad Tarasenko now, especially. I think that's more realistic, because you don't need St. Louis to retain 50% of his salary. You could ask for 20% retained, and that will be enough now to get the job done. And he's wanted out of St. Louis too. You could probably get him at a way more affordable price than Patrick Kane, and he's probably going to give you similar productivity as Patrick Kane. Or maybe the Rangers go wild and they end up getting a Patrick Kane and another forward, or Tarasenko and another top six forward. I don't see how they land both of these guys, because that would be way too many assets. That would be just unrealistic. But I'm just saying and spitballing ideas out there that the Rangers now have options at the deadline, which is what makes me happy. What makes me sad, though, about this trade still is the fact that the locker room, I think, is going to be affected by it. And for a locker room that has already seemed like they have been going through a bit this year, and I think the leadership is definitely questionable. We talk about it here all the time on the channel. I think that moving a guy like Ryan Reeves hurts the locker room, and I'm kind of scared with that. But at the end of the day, $1.7 million just to keep the locker room all joyful and happy. Listen, at the end of the day, these leaders have to be able to take the step forward, and the locker room themselves have to take the step forward to come together on their own and unite together on their own. They have to be able to do that at some point, and now's the time. Now's the time to hopefully have learned their lesson, and hopefully they don't let the Tom Wilson incident happen again, because that's what everyone's scared of too. But at the end of the day, you have guys like Jacob Trouba, who's willing to drop the mitts, and he's wearing that C on his sweater, so he better be willing to step up at times. You have guys that are willing to step up, and you have guys that need to be willing to step up. If this team truly wants to take the next step forward, you have to have guys like that on your team. So they had to learn. They have to learn at the end of the day. So I'm not complaining. And it's sad to see that it ended this way with Ryan Reeves, where he requested out and everything. But I understand why from his perspective. So it is what it is. I'm kind of interested to see on an emergency basis who ends up getting the call up. I'd imagine if it's a bottom six piece, Gustav Riedel is the first guy to get called up now. If you have an injury to your top six, I mean, I don't know what you're going to do now. Kravtsov slots in, sure, but I don't know. There's not a lot of options there in the AHL, and I'm kind of scared depth-wise when it comes to this team, what they have realistically, which is another reason why they might keep Sammy Blais come the trade deadline, is because maybe you do look to upgrade that bottom six role, that bottom six spot, and then Sammy Blais becomes your rotational forward, healthy scratch type piece there. That would be ideal. Or Carpenter. I don't really like Carpenter, but to have him as a rotational forward, fine. It is what it is at that point, and you could live with him being your 13th forward. I'm just naming things there. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Rangers carry the roster going forward. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. But for Ryan Reeves, I'm very thankful for his year here. I liked him here last year for the cap that they had, the cap space available. It was fine to bring him in for the year. I know everyone didn't like that they traded a third-round pick for the guy. It is what it is. I never thought too much of that third-round pick because at the end of the day, the Rangers don't draft well to begin with. So what does that third-round pick even mean? And you got a fifth-round pick in exchange for a guy that didn't want to be here and that wasn't playing for you. It's a W at the end of the day for Chris Drury. Not a W that he didn't do this in the offseason, though, because, man, I was saying it all along. And I hate to be the I'm right guy, but I was right at the end of the day with this. But I would love to hear your thoughts all in the comment section down below on the Ryan Reeves trade. Let me know your thoughts. I know there's going to be mixed emotions with people that are upset because we don't have that type of guy that's going to bring grit into the lineup and fight and all of that. But again, they have to learn. They have to learn on their own, and hopefully they're still going to be able to play that brand of hockey even without Ryan Reeves there. And it's kind of funny to me still how Ryan Reeves ends up fighting. Who was it? I think it was Marcus Foligno against the Wild. We had that sick picture of Ryan Reeves and him against the boards fighting, and now they're going to be teammates. But Ryan Reeves gets to go home too. I guess that's exciting for him. So wish nothing but the best for Ryan Reeves. I'm thankful for his time here. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say. If you did enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe if you guys are new, especially if you're Ranger fans. Turn on your notifications so you know when I upload a video next. And I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you, Revo75. And thank you guys for watching this one. Let's go, Rangers.